Good morning, students. Today we'll see the file structure program, second program. So it is on fixed length record. Okay. First, we'll see some of the basic functions which is used in that program. 1 second. Okay. So the program is on fixed length record. Fixed length record, and the field delimiter is pipeline symbol, and they have told to implement the pack, unpack, modify, and search methods. Okay, so this is the record. So they have just told to implement the student object. You can have any fields. Fine. Here I have taken USN, name, semester, and the department. Okay, so this is fixed length record. The record length is fixed. How much ever, whatever the length of variables is, it is the record length is fixed. You can give maximum of this many. That is 50 I have taken in the program, 50 characters only in a single record. Okay, so the fields used are USN, name, semester, and department, and the functions used in the program. So we have implemented a C++ program, and in the class there is pack, unpack, search, and modify function. The pack function, you know that pack is for assembling of data. Okay, so the pack function, what it is doing here is read data from keyboard, assemble the fields, that is data what you have taken, it is the small fields of the record. Fine. So assemble the fields into proper record structure, and then write it to the file. So that is pack function. Read values from the keyboard, put it in a particular format, and then write to the file. So when you are putting in a format, the red fields, USN, pipeline symbol, name, pipeline symbol, semester, pipeline symbol, and then the department, pipeline symbol, followed by the hash to complete the record length. Okay, and then /n, which indicates the end of record. So that is our record structure. Fine. So that is what you do in the pack function. Read the data, fields one by one, assemble in this particular format, and then put this string, complete string, whatever you have assembled, to the file. Okay, coming to unpack function. Unpack is nothing but taking the data from the file and putting it on the screen. All the records are taken from the file and then disassembled and put to the monitor. Okay, so that is unpack function. Read the records one by one from the file. Read one record, disassemble the fields, and then send it to the monitor. Okay, read the next record, disassemble the fields, and send it to the monitor, and so on till the end of file. Okay, then is a search function. In search function, what is done is read the USN of the record which has to be searched in the file. In the file there are many records. You want to search for a USN. So first read the USN from the keyboard whose record has to be searched. Okay, then read records from the file one by one. Check if the record, after reading the one record, check if it is the USN what you are searching for. If you get the USN what you are searching for, then display yes, you have got the record, and display the record. Okay, and after the whole searching, after the end of file, you have not found the required USN, record with the required USN, then it is that record is not found in the file. Okay, so that is a search function. Coming to the modify function, read the USN from the record. Read the USN of the record which has to be modified. Okay, so there are list of records in the file, and you want to modify one of the record. Okay, one of the record has to be modified. So whose record has to be modified? Read the USN whose record has to be modified. Again, read the records one by one from the file and check the USNs. Okay, reading means read, and unpack means disassemble the fields, retrieve the USN, compare the USNs. Okay, after comparing the USNs, if it is the required USN what you are searching, if you get that particular record, modify the record content. Okay, all the fields you are giving an option to the user to modify any fields whichever is required. Okay, so do the modification, pack the data, and then say, update the file, send the file to the send the updated file record to the file. Okay, send the updated record to the file and update the file. Okay, so these are the functions which is used in the program now, which is implemented in the program. These are the functions which is implemented in the program. Okay, now coming to some of the important functions which is used in the program. Important functions used in the program. So there is yes printf, yes scanf, and then the getLine function and seekp function. So these are the important functions which is used in the program. Now coming to yes printf. So you know that printf, what does it do? Printf displays the content, displays the data or a string of data onto the monitor, correct? In a particular format. You can put the data into the monitor in any format. That is, I can use, if I'm using printf, I can use printf, okay, and the value is, I use %d, or I want to use a width for the d, I want to reserve a width of suppose 5. So I can use 5, and this is what is formatting, correct? So you can use this, correct? So here a, okay, so the value of a is displayed here in the format specifier with a width of 5, that is 5 width is reserved, correct? So this content in the formatted string format is put to the monitor, right? So here in yes printf, what happens? Sends the formatted output. The formatted output is formed here, the output is framed here, and it is sent to a string. Okay, the first parameter is a string, and this output, which is formatted in this particular fashion, is sent to the variable b. Okay, so that is the printf, sprintf. So sprintf, this is the buffer b, or a string in which this formatted string is stored. Okay, so what is this percentage? Yes, it is nothing but USN of the student. Okay, so first parameter, that is first percentage yes formatted string, stands for USN. It takes the USN value followed by pipeline symbol. You can observe that there is no space here in between. There is no space. Okay, there is no space. So USN and pipeline symbol, name followed by pipeline symbol, semester followed by pipeline symbol, department, pipeline symbol, and this assembled format is put to the buffer b, and this buffer b will be later on after form it is assembled now. Okay, so this is the assembling part. Assembling you do like this. Okay, so assembling of the record, fine, and you are sending the b to the file later on. So this is yes printf. Now coming to yes scanf. Scanf reads the record. So and what does the scanf do? Usual scanf, what does it do? It reads the values whatever you enter in the keyboard to the variables, correct? So if I use scanf, and the values are given in a particular, are taken in a particular format, correct? And then, so just this, okay, and then these are the values. Scanf. Okay, so these values are stored in these variables, correct? So scanf, this is the pattern in which the data is entered in the keyboard, the format in which the data is entered in the keyboard. The format is taken as it is, and this format specifier are put to the variables. Okay, so this is the format of yes scanf. Similarly, yes scanf here, the data, what is in the data is put in this particular format. Okay, so in B there is some data, it is in this particular format. Okay, so one by one data is taken to the USN name, semester, and department. Now, what is this format? What is this percentage and okay? So it is not pipeline symbol. Not pipeline symbol means other than pipeline symbol, anything. So it is not, I am not giving percentage yes or percentage D. It can be a character or it can be an integer. So anything what other than pipeline symbol. So why I'm giving like this instead of percentage yes, and why I'm giving not pipeline symbol is, you know that pipeline symbol is indicating the end of field. Okay, pipeline symbol is indicating the end of field. So when pipeline symbol comes, it is the first field. Till the pipeline symbol comes, it is the first field. Okay, so I have entered the data in a particular format. So here I have entered the data in this format. Okay, now I have taken the data in this format. So 001. So this is the string. When I read the string, this is the string which is present in this buffer. Okay, so until 001, until this pipeline symbol, I'm taking it as the USN. Until this next pipeline symbol, I am taking it as the name. Okay, so I have read the buffer record from the file, and this is in this particular format. So until the first pipeline symbol, it is the USN, and then the format is, the buffer format is, there is a pipeline symbol. Okay, so pipeline symbol, and next is Mamta, the name. Okay, and then there is a pipeline symbol. So whatever comes here in this, that is the name Mamta, is copied to this variable. Okay, this pipeline symbol is not copied. Fine. Hope you're understanding. Now, when I use scanf, I give the values 23 space 34. Okay, so this is the format in which I have given. It takes in that particular format. 23 is given to A, 34 is given to B. Correct? So similarly, 001, I am taking the characters, whatever character, string, numbers, anything, whatever it is, until the pipeline symbol, not pipeline symbol. So until the first pipeline symbol, everything is taken to the USN, and the format is, there is a pipeline symbol, ignore it. Okay, so ignore that pipeline symbol. So it is there in the buffer. So this is the buffer format, what is there. Okay, and you're taking this data. This pipeline symbol is not taken to this any of these variables. Okay, so next there is the format specifier. If it is not pipeline symbol, again not pipeline symbol, until it is not pipeline symbol, so the next field is red, and then given to the name, again there is a pipeline symbol next. In the string it is there, so it has to be mentioned next. So again, if it is not pipeline symbol, the value 6 is taken and it is put to the semester. Again, pipeline symbol comes next, ISE, the department. Until the next pipeline symbol comes, the data is taken and then put into the department. Okay, so this is the way it works. Yes, scanf. Okay, now you have seen the printf and scanf function. Printf assembles the data and put to the buffer B, whereas scanf reads from the buffer B and then distributes to those variables. Okay, disassembling is taking place here. Now, getLine is a function which reads a string of characters from the file. It is a class and a function of file stream object dot getLine. Okay, dot getLine followed by buffer, and the next is maximum number of characters what you want to read, that is n, integer, maximum number of characters what you want to read, or stop reading when an delimiter appears. Okay, when a delimiter appears. So what is this function doing? It reads a string of characters, space, special characters, everything it reads until, here in this example, you read the 100 characters or /n appears. When /n appears, it stops reading. Okay, so until /n appears or until the 100 characters of the file, it reads everything. Okay, anything first. So 100 characters which comes first, or pipeline or slash n which comes first. Okay, if slash n comes first, it reads until the slash n. Okay, even after 100 characters, if slash n doesn't appear, it reads 100 characters. So either of this, okay, reads character from the file to the string, that is B. The extraction of characters ends when n characters are read or delimiter arrives. Okay, so that is the getLine function to read a string of characters from the file. Okay, it is a function of file stream object. Again, seekp function is another function which is used in the program. Seekp function is also a file stream object function. It moves the pointer. I'm using seekp here. As I told in the class, there are two seek functions, that is seekp and seekg. Seekp moves the put pointer of the file. If you want to put something to the file, if you want to write something to the file, you use the seekp function. Okay, there is seekg function. Seekg function moves the get pointer of the file. Okay, now here I'm using seekp, moves the put pointer of the file to a particular location. So the syntax is like this: fstream object dot seekp function, and the offset, at what distance you want to move, and origin. So as discussed in the class, origin can be from the beginning, from the current position you want to move to a particular offset, or from the end of file you want to move to a particular offset. Anything. Okay, now I am moving here in this example. What I have taken, the file stream object is file, and then seekp. Seekp is the function name. I am moving to an offset of 200 from the beginning of the file. Okay, suppose I consider this as a file. Okay, this PPT, this particular slide as a file. Then while the file is open, the cursor will be here. Both get and put pointers will be here. Okay, and you can move as you read. The get pointer is moved, and as you put the file, as you put the data, the put pointer is moved. Okay, now from the beginning I am moving to the 100th character, 200th character. Okay, so till the 200th, that is 0 to 199 character, it moves, and at the 200th character it stops. Okay, so we'll see how this function is used in the program. So these are the important functions which is used in the program: sprintf, scanf, getLine, and seekp. Okay, coming to the output. So this is you are executing the execution steps, and there is an infinite loop of the function. Infinite loop of this means it is a menu driven program. The first option is for pack. You want to unpack, disassemble the data and put to the monitor, that is the display function. This is search, modify, and exit. Okay, packers, you want to create new records and put to the file, then it is pack function what you call. So first I call the pack function and enter the USN name, semester and department. I am entering the name, the USN name, semester and department. So this is the record, and it is a fixed length record. So I have appended the ash symbols. Okay, so that is pack function over. Next, unpack function, enter the choice, it is 2. So it is this, it has to show all the records which is present in the file. Now I have entered only one record, so one record. Okay. Fine. There was a disturbance in the network. Sorry. So here we had seen the unpack function. Next is a search function. Search for the USN. The USN I am putting record found and display the record. Okay. Next is the I'm using for 4, that is modify. Okay, enter this USN to be modified. So I'm entering the USN which has to be modified. If I enter a wrong USN, it says record not found. So I have entered 001, record is found. I can re-enter the data. I have given AA here. Okay, so re-enter, modify the data, and then it is packed and sent to the file, updated to the file. You can see I'm once again calling the unpack function. So when I call the unpack function, the updated data is displayed here. Okay, so this is the program. This is the output of the program. Now we'll see the program. Okay, we'll see the program. Okay, one second, I should share it. We'll see the program now. Okay, so hope this is visible. Fine. Okay, so this is the program. Fine. We use the IOStream FStream function. I have told why it is used earlier. So IOStream is for creating the using cout, cin, and functions. Okay, cout and cin functions. So it is the input output stream, and this is file stream, FStream. FStream is for the using the file functions. Okay, stdlib, you are using stdlib for the exit function, and this is the string function. You are using the string length function. Okay, and std, oh okay, one second. Okay, stdio.h, let's see, it is used. Okay, fine. Okay, now this is the class fixed record. Okay, so this is the class in which there is the function pack, unpack, search, and modify. All are public accessed. Now, first of all, the program execution goes to the main function. Okay, so in the main function, I told it is a menu driven program. So here infinite for loop is there, in which there is a list of elements. Okay, using one of those values is selected, that is 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5. Okay, so ch is the option here for the switch. So you can see case 1 pack function is called, case 2 unpack function, case 3 with the search, 4 is modify, and 5 is the break exit function. Okay, so yeah, so these are the functions which you're calling. We'll see the functions one by one. Okay, menu driven program, that's it. So infinite for loop, after each function it comes back to here to this for loop. Okay, so we'll see the pack function. So in the pack function, so here, this is the pack function. So what is the pack function supposed to do? It reads the data from the keyboard, assembles the data, and then put to the file. Correct? So it is the pack function. Fine. Okay, so this is the pack function. Now the file size is declared as 50 is the file size. The class, the functions of the class. Okay. So we had we are seeing the pack function. So in the pack function, the character array B, so B is a buffer, okay, and its length is 50 plus 1. So actually the record size is 51. 50 is the content of the record, and followed by /n, which indicates the end of line and end of record also. Okay, and this is the file output file OFStream. Okay, so output file, you can also use it as FStream, no issues. You can use it as FStream O file. Okay, and you're reading the USN's name, semester, and department. Okay, enter the USN name, semester, and department of a particular record, one record. Okay, so you have read the values to this s.usn, that is student object, the structure values. Okay, s.name, s.semester, and s.department. Now open, I have read the values. What has to be done? This values has to be packed and then sent to the file. Okay, I'm opening the file in append mode. I have to use append mode only. I cannot use the write mode. If I use the write mode to open the file, the previous content will be deleted. Okay, so use the append mode, and then the values are assembled. Okay, so here assembling process is taking place. Assemble. Okay, so the values are assembled in a particular format and stored in the variable B. So USN, pipeline symbol, name, pipeline symbol, semester, pipeline symbol, department, pipeline symbol. All this are stored in B. Check the length of the buffer. Okay, check the length of the buffer. I have declared the value of the record to be 50 plus 1. Okay, so check if it is equal to the size. Okay, so if it is, you are copying the string length now to string length of B after this formatting, after putting the data in this particular format with. So I was explaining about the pack function. In the pack function, the buffer B contains the record, the fields of the record separated by pipeline symbol. Take the length, copy the length of the buffer into variable len, and if the length of the buffer is less than size is declared as 50. Okay, so if the length is less than size, concatenate the buffer with hash symbol. Okay, suppose the length is 30, then 30 is less than 50, isn't it? So concatenate till the length becomes less than 50. Okay, that is still, it is when it is less than 50, that is 49 is less than 50. So concatenate so that it becomes the length of the fixed size, that is 50 characters. Okay, so till it is 50 characters, it gets appended. Okay, the hash symbol gets appended, length is incremented here. Again, check whether length is less than size, concatenate if it is less than size, and if it is equal to size, come out of the while loop, append, that is string cat, string function here, string concatenate it with /n. Okay, uh, put the packed file, the whole records, the whole record, that is with the fields separated by pipeline symbol and the padding symbols, send it to the output screen, cout, and also send it to the file. Okay, that is copy the record, the whole record to the file. Okay, and close the file which is opened in append mode here. Close the file. So that is one pack function. A call for one pack function reads the data from keyboard, opens the file in append mode, assemble the data, does the padding process, and send it to the file. Okay, so that is the pack function. We'll see the unpack function next. So what does the unpack function do? What did I tell? It reads the data from the file. It reads a record from the file using getLine function. I had told you how getLine function works. So it reads a record from the file, a single record from the file, disassemble the data and display it on the screen, that is monitor. Okay, so unpack. So buffer is size +1, that is with padding, it is of 50 characters, and +1 /n characters +1. So I have declared the buffer B size as the buffer, the variable B character array. Okay, you can declare any size, it doesn't matter, but it is good if you don't give a large size, because just memory gets wasted there. Fine, so you're opening the file in the read mode. You are going to read the data, so iOS in, and you're going to read the records from the file. So till end of file is a file stream object, f stream object. Okay, till end of file, continue this while loop, not file dot eof. Till end of file, this reading process continues. Okay, so while if it is not end of file, use getLine function. What does the getLine function do? It reads the characters from the file. Okay, string of characters from the file till it is 52 characters or /n is encountered. Okay, so the whole record is read to the buffer B. And if it is end of file, again you are checking if it is end of file after reading. Okay, after reading the /n, suppose in the program you have given the last line, empty line /n. Okay, so that's when it is just if there is junk data. So if it is end of file written, that is junk data means if there is unnecessary space given in the file. Okay, so again they are checking if it is end of file return. Okay, now if it is not end of file, you have read the data and that data is in B, and this is the format in which data is present in B. Okay, so what does scanf do? This format, the format specifier value, this particular format specifier value is copied to USN. Okay, so single format specifier value what you get is copied to first variable. Fine. So single format specifier value means till it is not pipeline. When it is a pipeline, when it is not a pipeline, okay, till then the value whatever is then there, till it is not a pipeline character, it is copied to USN. When it is a pipeline, the reading stops there. Okay, so till it is not a pipeline symbol, the value is copied to USN, and again till it is not a pipeline symbol, the next value is copied to name, and so on. Okay, so this is the format in which the string is there in the buffer B, the characters, pipeline symbol, characters, pipeline symbol, and so on. So till it is not a pipeline symbol, copy those characters to USN. Again after pipeline symbol, till it is not the next pipeline symbol, copy the name to variables to this name. Okay, name variable, next pipeline symbol. Again until it is not a pipeline symbol, copy the name value of the the value what is stored there to semester and then to department. Okay, so this is disassembling. They are separating the fields of the record. Fine. And then the data is sent to the output screen, cout. Okay, so while it is end of file, while there is no data to read, it comes out and the file is closed. Okay. While it is end of file, it comes out of this while loop. Okay, that is unpack function, disassembling and putting it to the monitor. Now we'll see the search function, which I had told next. The option 3 is search function. So in search function, what are you supposed to do? You want to search for a particular USN. Okay, you are entering, you're taking the value of the USN. So as I had told previously, in search function, read the USN whose value has to be searched, and then read the records one by one from the file. Okay, disassemble the record content, check if the USN is the USN what you're searching for, and then if it is yes, display the record. Okay, so that is the function, search function. Now here f stream object is used. It is open, the file is opened in read mode. You have to read from the file and the records, and then search it whether it is the USN what you wanted. Okay, enter the USN to be searched. You have entered the USN, you have copied into this variable USN. It is just an array of characters. Okay, you can give any name here. So if I give 1, 2, okay, so I have declared an array USN, okay, USN 1. So this is, or USN A. So USN A, fine. So I'm comparing it with USN A. Okay, so this is a changes. So what happens here? I am reading the USN to a variable. While it is not end of file, read the record using getLine function. do the disassembling of the record, that is each field is in its variables now. Okay, compare the USN what you have retrieved from the record with this USN what is read. Okay, so you are comparing, and compare return 0, that is if these two values are equal, then display record found and display this record to the monitor, to the screen. Okay, send this records to the screen. Fine. And it is, once it is found, you're closing the file dot close and return. Okay, if it is not the USN, the first record is not the USN what you have searched for, then again while loop continues, while it is not end of file, read the record, compare the USN. If it is not, again read the record, compare the USNs. Okay, so suppose you till the end of file you don't get the record what you're searching for, then record not found, close the file, return. Okay, if you get the record in between, that is USN matches in between anywhere, then display the record, close the file and return. Okay, so this is the search function. Next is the modify function. So the function to modify the contents of the record. So what are you supposed to do here in modify function? Again, you are opening the file. Okay, first you are searching, you are entering a USN whose record has to be searched. Okay, whose record has to be modified. So enter the USN, read the records one by one. If the USN matches, do the changes. Okay, read the values from the keyboard, and that values has to be packed and sent to the file. Okay, so that is the modify function. Now here you are opening the file in read and write mode. Okay, in read and write mode. Why? You are reading from the file and modifying it and writing to the file. Correct? So you are opening the file both in read and write mode. Enter the USN to be modified. You are taking a USN which has to be modified. Okay, similar to the previous function, it can be any variable. Okay, it can be any variable. You have to do the changes here in declaration also if you are taking any other variable. Okay, so you have read the USN. Now while it is not end of file, so you have not come to the end of file, you want to search the records one by one. So use get line to read the record. Okay, disassemble the record here. Again, disassemble the record content so that you will get each fields. Okay, so after disassembling, you get this USN. So if this yes.usn is the USN what you are searching for, if it is 0, string compare returns 0, means both the strings are same, means this is the record which you want to change. Okay, so key found, enter the USN to be changed. So you are using cin and taking the USN to this variable. That is, you are overwriting the content what is here. Okay, so you are reading to this particular variable, enter the name. You're taking each and every field's values, whatever the user wants to change, whichever field the user wants to change, those particular fields can be changed. Okay, so USN has changed, name is changed, or you can retain it the same. You can retain the USN the same. Okay, any field, whichever you want to change, that can be changed, and whichever you want to retain the same, that can be given as the same. Fine. After reading the values, the new values are in these variables. Similar to pack function, use printf to pack and put the data into this variable b. Check the length of the buffer b using string length. Okay, so read this buffer length. And so string length function returns the length of this buffer to the len variable. So if len is less than size, concatenate with hash. Why you are doing this process? Because it is a fixed length record. You have to make the record to the particular fixed length and then send it to the file. Okay, so you are concatenating so that the record length becomes of the size 50 and plus 1, that is Latin character. Okay, so the record is formed now. Now we want to place the record in the particular position. Okay, so use seek p function to move the record to the particular position. So which is the position where you want to move the record? So from the beginning of the record, I am moving to the position n star size plus 1, n into size plus 1. Okay, size plus 1 is the size of each record, that is 50 plus new line character plus 1. Okay, so what is this n? N is indicating the record number, which is which record you are reading currently. Suppose USN, whatever record you have read now is the first record, and that itself first record is a record what you want to change. Okay, in that case you can see here the declaration, the n value is 0. Okay, means in the file you want to change from the 0th position. Okay, 0th position, whatever content is there in the 0th position, that position data is what you want to change. Okay, so that means n value is 0, so 0 into anything is 0. So at the 0th position you want to place this new record. Okay, suppose suppose the n value is 1. Okay, means you want to change the second record. You want to change the second record. In that case, the position will be 1 into 51. Okay, so that is 51th position. The data is changed in the 51st position. So why 51st position? You know that record is of length 51. So 0 to 50 will be the first record. 0 to 50 offsets will be the first record, and the second record will start from the position 51. Okay, so if it is a second record, you get the value. It is the record number is 1, and 51 is the size plus 1, that is 50 plus 1 is 51. You get the position 51. Okay, now suppose n value is 2, means you are reading the third record. Okay, so n value, you see this as RRN value, relative record number. So if n value is 0, that means it is the first record, and n equals 1 means you are reading the second record, and n equals 2 means you are reading the third record. Okay, suppose you want to change the third record. When you want to change the third record, n value will be 2. Okay, when it is a third record, n value will be 2. Fine, n value will be 2. So this is n, what I'm telling. So n value will be 2. When n value is 2, that means it is the third record which I am reading. So third record. So if it is the third record, n value is 2 and size is 50 plus 1, that is 51. So I get the position 102. Okay, that is first record is from 0th position to 50th position, and second record is from 51 plus 51, it is 101, and the third record will start from 102. Okay, so like this, here I'm calculating, because it is fixed length record, this length is fixed. So I know that when the n value is 2, that means I'm changing the third record. Okay, I'm modifying the value of third record. Then I get n into 51, n into size from the beginning. Okay, from the beginning of the file, I'm moving to this particular location. Okay, I'm moving the seek p. I'm using the seek p function, means I'm moving the put pointer, the pointer used for putting the data to the file. Okay, so a put pointer is moved, and put pointer is moved to the particular position, and then this content is moved to the file. Okay, first you move to the pointer, so that pointer comes to this particular position. Okay, and then you are putting the file here. Okay, so that is you're putting the file, you're writing the buffer content to the file. Okay, you're putting the record, sorry. So yeah, after moving the cursor to the particular position, you're moving the record to the particular file. Where is the record present? Record concatenated assembled record is present in the buffer B. Okay, and then close the file. So the job is done, return. Fine. So this is if the USN matches. Suppose if the USN doesn't match, okay, I should read the next record. If the USN doesn't match, then increment n because I want to read the next record, and this while loop continues. So where is the while loop? So the while loop continues. Not end of file, read the record, disassemble the fields, if check the USN. If it is not the USN, increment n because I want to read the next record. Again, read the next record, disassemble the fields, check the USN. If it is not the USN, increment the value of n so that I get the next record, third record. Okay, then read the third record, disassemble. If this is the USN, what it matches, read the data from the keyboard, okay, values to be modified, and then assemble the data, check the length. So if length is less than size, concatenate so that it becomes to the length of the record, concatenate it with /n. Okay, so now the record is ready. Move the put pointer to the particular position using this. Okay, third record. So n value is 2. N into 51, I get the position where it has to be, where the record has to be placed. Move the seek pointer to the particular position and then put the content to the file. Okay, the previous data, whatever was there in the file, will be overwritten by the new data. Okay, close the file and return. So this is the modify function. Okay, even after the end of file, if the record is not found, mention it as record is not found, close the file and return. Okay, so you have seen all the functions: pack function, unpack, search, and modify. Okay, so that is the second program of fixed length record. Okay, record, student record with fixed length record with field separated by delimiter. Fine, thank you.